In this bulletin, 83 new COVID cases recorded. Don't be swayed by pretenders, says PM. And AstraZeneca works against Delta variant. And Rubenaika, Fiji. In the highest daily total for COVID-19 infections, Fiji has recorded 83 new cases as of last night. There are few new clusters confirmed, with cases emerging in Naitasiri from various localities outside of the Suvarnasori containment zones. 2 cases are from Matasinasau village, one of whom was recently discharged from the Colonial War Memorial Hospital, and 1 case had moved to Tawu village by the time the results were known. There are 1 each cases from Lasilebu Sawu settlement and Wisinga village in Wonindawa. Permanent Secretary for Health Dr. James Fong confirms the Naitasiri containment response team has also had to stand down due to exposure to a positive case. 1 case has been confirmed in Tawua, a traveler who recently arrived from Lautoka. Dr. Fong says the other cases are in areas already under containment or lockdown. These are Waila, CWM Hospital, the Incident Management Team Headquarters in Turek Suba, and the warehouse in Lami. The other known areas are Daumbati, Navy, Samambula, Shop and Save Supermarket, Nawaka Nandi, and Nabosai in Rere. Colonial War Memorial Hospital will now become a full-time COVID care facility with tight controlled movement into the premises. Permanent Secretary for Health Dr. James Fong says the cluster of greatest concern is at CWM Hospital, where medical teams are going to great lengths to provide critical treatment without exposing themselves and patients to the virus. Dr. Fong says access to laboratory, maternity and pediatric units will be through escalated screening and packaged decontamination protocols. Dr. Fong confirms a field hospital for the treatment of non-COVID patients in the vicinity of the hospital is being established in conjunction with partners from Australia. The Health Ministry has found that a funeral was held recently with nearly 100 people in attendance. Dr. James Fong says incautious gathering could potentially result in another super spreader event. Dr. Fong has reiterated that only 10 people are allowed to attend a funeral, and it applies before, during and after the funeral protocols. He adds no social gatherings are allowed. Dr. Fong says if we don't respect those rules, then we will have more of our loved ones to bury due to the loss of life that can result from COVID-19. He adds through adherence to health restrictions, severe outcomes can be prevented and the most vulnerable in society can be protected. Permanent Secretary for Health Dr. James Fong believes Fiji is heading towards a peak with high numbers of COVID-19 infections. He says pandemics usually start slow but eventually reach an acute stage. And with a significant community transmissions, the ministry need to relook at strategies in terms of the spread and how they respond.
The Ministry of Health will be working with the World Health Organization to reassess the status of COVID-19 in the country.
That's why we are looking at other donors, that's why we're looking at setting up field hospitals, and that's why we are responding with escalated surveillance screening.
The ministry is responding on the basis that the spread of the virus is escalating.
I feel personally that we are going to start hitting the ascending phase of the acutely ascending phase of our epidemic, which is what happens in this type of pandemic.
Minister for Health Dr. Efremi Wanginambete says, looking at the number of COVID-19 cases, agile decision-making is vital for the ministry.
If you look at the pattern that is coming, we are seeing more cases that are really locally transmitted cases than they are community cases. And this gives us some relief. Though the clusters may, in terms of the numbers, may be big, but we must remember that these are within the clusters.
The ministry has already engaged in several agencies overseas to bring in more help and personnel to back the ministry up. More information on international assistance will be made public once agreements have been reached. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
Don't be swayed by pretenders during these times of uncertainty. That is the message relayed by Prime Minister Warengem Bainimarama while speaking on Radio Fiji 1, Nanon de Lalakai program. Sanya Nimbola reports this follows videos on social media discouraging people from getting vaccinated.
Addressing one particular video that has gained traction, Bainimarama is pleading with people to stop following those arguing against the vaccine.
While it goes without saying that the police are onto her for the lies propagated in that video, I want to tell you, do not fear. No amount of her lies will change the truth that the vaccine is effective. She has nothing to show for her claims, and she will soon be made to answer. The vaccination is an opportunity in the midst of this crisis. Do not hold back.
Baini Marama adds, as Fiji fights the virus, authorities are also battling those pointing fingers against the work to keep the nation moving forward.
Some point fingers at our frontliners, at our disciplined forces. Some have questioned our decision to lift movements around Fiji, even though they will all be done under very strict COVID-safe protocols. Some have questioned the efficacy of the vaccine. They see difficulties in every opportunity to set us free, but I see opportunity in every difficulty. Opportunity to protect you, opportunity to safeguard you, opportunity to make you flourish under these difficult circumstances.
He says the pandemic will soon dissipate, so it's crucial that people do what is right to help the government.
We chose to look on the brighter side despite the challenges, despite the crisis, despite the chaos that had gripped our country in times past. We chose to believe that in the midst of every crisis lies great opportunities.
The Prime Minister is calling on Fijians not to fear, as the pandemic will weaken and we will soon reconnect with our friends and families. Sainiani Boila, FBC News.
The Health Ministry has stressed the AstraZeneca vaccine being administered is effective and safe as witnessed worldwide. Head of COVID-19 Vaccination Task Force, Dr. Rachel Davey, is encouraging Fijians to get the jab to be protected against the virus. Dr. Davey has assured Fijians that the vaccine is highly effective against the Delta variant which is spreading in Fiji. She adds the hesitancy among Fijians is low, but they still need to disregard misinformation about the vaccine.
With what we're seeing in India, it's not good news. It's really heartbreaking. But just knowing that the vaccines we have right now in the country is working against the variant we have, it's really good news for Fiji in that context. Yeah.
Up ahead, Matawalu leaves Glasgow on a high. And Siltails back to winning ways. Stay with us. Welcome back. Fijian scrum half Nicola Matawalu has a lot to cherish after playing his last game for Glasgow Warriors in the clash against Leinster. Flying Fijians powerhouse Semi Randrandra scored twice, helping Bristol Bears defeat Kini Murmuribalu and the Maninandolos Leicester Tigers. The Kaibiti Siltails kept their own Macy Cup playoffs hope alive after securing another win over the weekend. The West Ngama coach side defeated Dirty Reds 30-22. Timodimbola at Miliki Lutuimui, Wesalena Rudere, Inoke Wasuturanga and Joeli Wulubu all got a try for the Siltails. Nayabudere's kicking game was spot on as he converted all 5 tries. Captain Apakuki Tabundi says they needed the win after 2 straight losses in the previous matches.
Give the glory and the honor back to the Almighty who gave us strength to be able to go harder in the ground. Which endured we had a win after 2 straight losses. Yes, we want to thank all the supporters out there for cheering the team.
Fijian-born Wallabies number 8 Isi Naisarani bagged a double for the Rebels in a thrilling Super Rugby Trans-Tasman clash against the Chiefs, where the Rebels fell short as the Chiefs snatched a 36-26 win. Cloudy periods with brief showers over the eastern parts and interior of Viti-Levu and Wunu-Levu, Kandavu, Lomaiviti, as well as Tapeuni. Elsewhere, mostly cloudy conditions with possible afternoon showers. That's FBC Morning News. Join us at 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. For news you can trust, get the facts from FBC's TV, radio, and digital news at fbcnews.com.fj. Take care and good morning.